All right, guys, it's Tabitha back again with a video on how to teach you half double crochet. We're doing a crochet basic series for about 101 stitches. So we're going to start there before we start making any projects, because I believe it's important for everyone to know how to create each stitch, because when we go to some of these patterns, they'll jump to something more advanced um, within the pattern. So I think you need to know how to do that, all the stitches, before we start working on any projects. So today we're going to take a look at half double crochet. And in order to do that, we're going to need to create our slip stitch, or slip knot, I'm sorry. So remember, I was saying you could do that by winding the yarn around your finger twice, pull over, and then over again, and pull through that loop, and that creates a slip knot. Or I've seen a lot of people do it this way, where you take your hook. I'm using a lighted hook today, but it doesn't look like you can. The light is very dim. I might need to replace the battery soon. So yarn over, twist twice, pull your yarn through that hoop, and pull it tight. And that also creates the same slip knot that I wrapped around my finger. But I learned how to wrap it around my finger when I was a child, so I just stuck to that. And basically, what we want to do is begin chaining. So I'm going to chain 20. Okay, so there's my 20 chains. And then you can either start from here and begin creating your half double crochet, or you can single crochet on that first row so that you can get a solid foundation if you wanted to. You don't have to. And then you can also start half double crochet without chaining as well, but that's a little more advanced, so I'll show you how to do that later. All right, I think I'm going to just begin half double crochet from the chain. So what we're going to do is, in order to half double crochet, you have to yarn over first. Always remember that. And then we're going to go into not this first stitch from the hook, but the second stitch from the hook, because if we start here, this is going to unravel. So just take a look and make sure that you're not working in the same space as the loop on your hook. So yarn over, go into the second stitch from the hook, yarn over, pull through that stitch that you just went into, and then we need to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Do that again, yarn over into the next stitch, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. So now you want to yarn over and go through all 3 loops on your hook. And we're going to keep doing that for every stitch until we reach the end of the round. Yarn over, push through the next stitch, pull that through until you have 3 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, yarn over. Oh crap. So if you ever do that, just release the stitch. Make sure you can see your loop, your original loop that you should start with on your hook. Yarn over, go through your stitch, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Again, into the next stitch, pull through all 3. I have my yarn balled up into a big old ball, and I have it sitting inside of this kind of like cloth like, I don't know, container, and it keeps getting stuck, so I have to keep pulling out my yarn. It's not rolling the way that it should. We'll talk about yarn bowls and everything as well, maybe a little bit later. Ooh, bloopers. All right, so a half double crochet, when you're using half double crochet, you at the end of the round you want to chain 2, and that will give you enough room to continue creating another row of half double crochet. So here you can either, once again, go through both stitches or both herringbones of the top stitch, or you can work in the back loops only. It's totally up to you, depending, and it also depends on the type of project you're making. But for practice, you can choose either way. It'll just make a ribbed look like we did with single crochet. Same concept, different stitch. Yarn over, go through both herringbones, and then again through all 3 stitches you had left on the hoop. Yarn over, yarn over through both stitches, then through all 3 on the hoop. yarn over, hook, sorry, through all 3 stitches, and then yarn over again and go through all 3 stitches on your hook, yarn over through the next stitch, yarn over through all 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 hoops on your hook. Finish the round. Turn your work. Here are 2 rows of half double crochet. You can keep going. Just get your practice in. You can, I'll leave these videos up so you can always come back and look at how to do a stitch that we've already gone over. After we finish, I'm probably going to begin like posting some projects so you can practice, links to some projects that you can practice. And if you want to work on those throughout the week, you can do that. But for now, I think good practice would just be to keep going with our practice work. I got this yarn from Walmart, I believe. Maybe about a year ago. Like, I have a stash of yarn, you guys. So I don't remember where I've always purchased things, and then they might not still have it in stock because, like, I store yarn. I'm a yarn hog. The hooks I got from Joann's, but I know Amazon has them, so I'll post a link to that. Whichever one is, actually I'll post both of them, and you could choose which one is more economical for you to purchase. I see. And also, like, if you ever encounter a time where your yarn will unravel as you're working, I always reset. Like, I'll pull that stitch out that I just worked on and pretty much start over with the same stitch and make sure that all the yarn is gathered, because it can make your work look sloppy, and we don't want that, especially if you're going to be selling projects later. You want to make sure everything looks nice and clean and ready for sale. Something, that someone will want to purchase. I think it's this yarn. So easily separable. Yeah, it's definitely time for me to change this battery because it's gone. It's in the on position and it's not lighting up at all. Let's try one of the other ones. That was a 4.5 millimeter hook from the Crochet Light. And like I said, I got this from Joann's. Um, but Amazon also has them. You can get like a whole pack of hooks that are lighted. Let's try this one. It's a little bit bigger. It's a 6, but this is practice. Show you how it's supposed to look when it's lighted up. Like if you're ever working at night and like the light isn't all that great, or the lights are dim, you want to work while you're in bed or whatever. These crochet hooks help you see the yarn in your stitches. So I like using those for that. So when you go up in size of the yarn, it just makes your stitches bigger. As you go down in size, it makes your stitches smaller. Little thing right there. So just remember that, like, you don't always have to use the recommended hook for the yarn that you purchase. It depends on the project. If you want your stitches to be closer and tighter, like if you're making a skirt or something and you don't want your undergarments to show through the skirt, then you want to use a smaller hook. I can actually show a skirt that I made, but you want to use a smaller hook so that you can't see through, these spaces in the yarn and, have yourself exposed. If you don't mind that, then you can increase your hook size, and that'll make your stitches bigger, and the spaces will also be bigger as well. So depends on your project and your preference. So I'm going on a camping trip next week. So I'll be doing a video probably from my hammock. in between some trees. Hopefully the bugs won't bug me too much so that I can actually do a video for you. But that should be fun. Get some relaxation in before school starts really good. My son's in college, so he'll be in school probably 2 days before I go. But his college is nearby, so he'll be coming with me. Yep, so just go back, and anytime that happens, reset your yarn so it doesn't look ragged. Alright, so we have our half double crochet rows. Let's do 2 rows of back loops only, just so you can see what that looks like. once again, those 2 rows create that ribbing effect that we practiced with single crochet last week. You can continue working on this for the rest of the week. Actually, if you made this like really long, you can make it into a scarf, or you can make dish rags. You can make pot holders. You know, just keep going, keep practicing throughout the week, and then we're gonna come back next week with a double crochet. So this was half double crochet, so we're gonna extend this into a double crochet, which is like one of the more prominent stitches in crochet. Half double crochet is used a lot too. Like I said, if you want to tighten your stitches, a lot of people use that instead of single crochet, but single crochet is good as well. It's one, like I said, it's one of the base stitches that you can use to make any project. As we get more advanced in our stitches, we're going to find that they make your project a little bit more fancy. So we'll get there. This is stitch number 3, and have a good week, guys.